Good morning. Today is the day which I will be going live on Red Bull's Instagram. And they have, I think, 11.9 million followers, which is fun. I'm not going live until probably about 6:30 this evening, and it's currently 9:30-ish, so I do have a fair bit of time to prepare myself. I'll tell you what I did last night. Last night I recorded myself because I've heard stories, right, that if you want to memorize something, you record yourself saying it and then play it to yourself overnight, and miraculously you're supposed to be able to know all your lines in the morning. Yeah, I don't think it works because I've been listening to myself all night very quietly, very quietly, and I don't feel like I know my piece any better. It's okay. I still have the whole day. I know most of the facts anyway, so it's just a case of refining everything I know and make sure I know it off the cuff. And we should be sweet. But I'm vlogging today, and I'm going to bring you along with me. Yeah, so hope you enjoy. Why do I feel a bit nervous already? Look how gross my hair looks. This is my hair when I have brushed it, but not straightened it. Life of someone with curly or wavy hair. We can't brush our hair. I'm starting to feel nervous already. Why does this always happen to me? When I'm going to be doing any kind of presentation, my heart starts to go like this. And as much as I want to be confident and stop my heart going, it just keeps going like this. I've written down a bunch of notes on these nifty little cards, basically just to prompt me during the live if I forget what I'm talking about, or just need a reminder of some of the facts, but to be honest, I know most of it off by heart anyway, so I'm basically just going to practice in my room right now, using my notes, but hopefully not even using my notes. I'm still very new to presenting, like obviously I guess present to my camera here to you guys, and that's very normal for me, but in terms of presenting to another camera about a topic other than myself and my travels and whatever, that's still very new to me. But it is something that I'm so keen to do more of and improve on, and I'd love to get to a point where I can do these and beforehand I'm not like this, or maybe it will always be like that. I don't know. Do the nerves ever go? Do they ever go? So I'm going to practice with these cards. I have a few hours before we're heading to the actual event. So, yeah. This is the most satisfying process in the world. I very rarely straighten my hair. To be fair, I do quite like my hair naturally a lot of the time, and I think it fits my vibe a little bit better, just disheveled. But it is luxurious for me to straighten my hair every once in a while. Patiently, quietly. We've got the Guggenheim Museum right here, and then up here we have the athletes and their diving platforms. They throw down their little towel first, because that's the first thing they're going to be grabbing when they come out of the water. So it looks like this athlete's doing a front takeoff.
We are so close to the action here. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm going to be going live in about 1 hour. It's really exciting to see just how many people are here watching. I set this camera up in order to film me do my live, and I forgot to press record, but it's done, and I'm going to put in a little snippet of it now. From the UK, and I am coming at you live today from Bilbao in Spain, where the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series finals are taking place. So the World Series has been going on since 2009. We are in our 11th year, and this year our athletes have have been to 7 stops around the world. So they started in El Nido, the Philippines. Since then, our athletes have been to Ireland, Italy, Portugal, Lebanon, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and finally we are here in Bilbao, Spain. Now, the women only started the World Series in 2014, so this is the very first time that we are seeing the women compete here in front of the iconic Guggenheim Museum here in Bilbao. Oh, I feel relief, guys. I feel relieved. I'm done. It went well. Rihanna did freaking amazing. I'm gonna go eat some food now. Very colourful dog. This place looks so different from what it did last night. I am sorry for the lack of vlogs, guys. I full on was planning on making a first impressions of Bilbao video, like where I was actually going to walk around the city today. However, the party went on quite a lot longer than I was anticipating last night, out to about 5 a.m. And actually I don't feel too bad today. I'm just very tired. More tired than hungover, but it meant that I haven't had the time to explore that I wanted to. But before I go, I do have a couple of hours, so I've come back to the Guggenheim Museum where the party was last night. It looks very, very different in the daytime from what it did last night. I guess it was interesting having first impressions of it as a party. I'm not normally a culture vulture, I don't normally go to museums, but this one just looked magnificent, so I'm looking forward to just a nice little stroll around, see what we can find. See, I just can't relate to this. I don't know about you. So these are all things that we can see around Bilbao, and a model of the Guggenheim itself. Amazing. And the award for worst vlogger, worst daily vlogger of the year goes to Backpacking Bananas. Thank you. Yes, as you can see, I am back at home.
Yeah, all right.
Flew back home from Bilbao. Had an excellent week, and I'm really sorry I wasn't able to show you more travel-y bits. But as I said at the beginning of the week, it was a work trip, so I didn't get to travel around that much. But I was put outside of my comfort zone a lot this week. Well, and last week as well, with the talk at Borderless Live and with the live presenting on Red Bull's Instagram. I tell you what, I just get so nervous, but I do think, and this is something that I always try to encourage on my channel, is it's just so important to get outside of your comfort zone. Do things that make you uncomfortable, because you learn so much more, you learn quicker, and you grow as a person when you do these things. And I always like to apply that to travel as well, especially solo travel. If you don't think you can do it, if you think it's really outside of your comfort zone, just know that I will always support you. And I think that going outside of your comfort zone and doing things that you're not used to can just be one of the most beneficial things that you can do for yourself as a person. So I'm really proud of myself this week for doing that. I don't actually think I go outside of my comfort zone enough, so hopefully more things like that to come in the future. And now that I'm home, I can answer some more of your travel dilemmas. Hashtag backpacking banagriant. Right, where's me phone? Who have we got on the list? Who's up today? Okay, so the first question is from Maria Romanova, who asks, how do you put on sunscreen when you're by yourself? Very good question, Maria. Now, I have a couple of techniques which I use. If you can do this with your arms, this is going to be a bit weird. Like, you know, you put one here and one here. If you can do that, you can actually totally put on sunscreen on your back by yourself. It's a little uncomfortable, but if you can go this way and you can go this way, you can, like, by doing this and this and this. So if you can, like, you know, almost hug yourself here, you can actually totally do it by yourself, which I have done many, many times. It's just a little bit awkward. I recommend getting the cream onto your hands, spreading it around your hands and wiping it on your back like windscreen wipers. If your shoulders do not quite contort in that position, you just have to ask someone. And yes, it's awkward, but it has to be done. That is just something that as solo travellers, we need to get over. It's good in these situations to target the other people who look like they're by themselves, particularly pale people by themselves, because more often than not, they're gonna need you to do the same to them. So it's like a favour for a favour. The next travel dilemma is from Mitra Lawfuls. She says, I'm living for these vlogs, they're so helpful and informative. The one thing that gives me anxiety and why I only do short solo trips is getting sick whilst travelling, especially since I'm on my own. I wouldn't know what to do and how to stay positive, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it is always a worry to think that you could get sick on the road, but it's not definitely something that's going to happen, and I don't think it should be something that holds you back from travelling at all. I mean, I very, very rarely get sick, but one, you should always have travel insurance and medical insurance so that if you do get sick and you need to go to a hospital, you don't have any financial worries and thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to pay for this? Your insurance should cover you, so make sure you always have travel insurance. And you've got to remember, there are hospitals and doctors everywhere in the world. And also the beauty of staying in hostels is that you're almost never alone when you're solo traveling. I can guarantee you, if you were to tell a fellow traveler, hey, look, I'm not feeling so well, people are so responsive to that. I know that I've gone to the doctor in hospital with travellers who I've just met, who I've maybe met in the dorm room, and they say, hey, I'm not feeling so well. I've gone to the doctors with them because that's not a nice situation to be in. And I like to think that most travellers are like that. Like, we're here to help each other out, especially solo travellers. So even though you are travelling solo, just know that you're not alone, and if you do get sick, there will be people there who will want to help you. But other than that, hopefully you won't get sick. I always carry a little first aid bag with me, which just has like my local medication. So if it's something like a cold, for example, I always have day and night nurse on me, which is my medication from the UK, and I know that it always works to get me back on track. I have my hay fever tablets, I have ibuprofen, I have Imodium, I have Diarrhelite. I have all of these things on me for like quick fixes. Try not to let that consume your mind, because yes, it's obviously just going to give you anxiety, but it really is just something that you can deal with as and when it comes. So just try to remember that, try to enjoy your time being healthy, because it's going to make your time a lot more enjoyable. And the final travel dilemma is from Beth Knights, who asks, do language barriers make it difficult to travel to certain places? How do you communicate not knowing the language in countries that you are unfamiliar with their language? I have never, ever, ever had an issue with language barriers. Not like any serious issues anyway. Most countries in the world have a very basic level of English, which is really nice. I do recommend trying to learn the basics of the local language, just because really it shows more respect for the people living there, and they always really appreciate the effort. And there are so many online language learning services which you can use to learn the basics of a new language. Particularly in Central America, often they could speak a little bit of English, but they didn't really like to or want to, so I had to really use my Spanish there. But I found that I was picking up the language quite quickly, and I'd already learned the basics at home. But something that you definitely should have on your phone is the Google Translate app. It is amazing, and download offline the local language that the country you're going to speaks, because you can do things on the Google Translate app. They can talk and you can record them, and it will directly translate it into your own language, and vice versa. You can type something or say something in English or whatever your language is, and it will translate it into their language, and then you can play that out loud for that person to hear. It's amazing and it works. And what you can also do with it is you can hover your phone over, let's say, a food menu. If something's in a completely different language, you hover your phone over that menu. It directly translates it onto your phone like some sort of crazy Black Mirror shit. And you can see what it means. Like, the technology these days is incredible, and Google Translate is a completely free app, so I highly recommend downloading that. And yeah, I've never had any serious issues with language barriers anywhere that I've been in the world so far. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you tomorrow. The daily vlogs will be daily this week. Well, hey, because I'm being back to no social life. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.